Red 5 standing by.
For even more Atari fun, head over to Atari.io. It's Atari Test. Star Wars Arcade. Oh man, I remember when this came to my arcade in the early 80s. I absolutely fell in love with this arcade machine. I love vector graphic games, and having a vector graphic game based on a movie that I absolutely love, Star Wars, was a hit out of the ballpark for me. The cabinet design was really awesome. I love the yoke controller that was on this game. It simulated like you were flying an X-Wing, which I thought was pretty cool. Of course, my favorite version of this game to play is the sit-down version, where you sit inside of a cockpit. There's a really cool bass speaker in that machine. It really gives you a good rumble as you're playing the game. It's actually pretty cool to experience. The last one I saw like this was at the 1984 arcade in Missouri. They've got one of these. I need to visit that arcade sometime so I can give it a try again. But anyway, what do I like about this arcade game? Well, one of the things I liked was the varied missions that you would fly. You would be in outer space battling the TIE fighters, and you'd see Darth Vader's TIE fighter flying around out there. You couldn't destroy him. You just shoot him, and he would spin off into space like in the movie. And then you would fly over the Death Star surface, where you battle the little gun emplacements on the ground or the towers, dodge in between them, try to fly across the surface and get as many points as you can. And then you would go into the ever-iconic Death Star Trench. Love that part of the original movie, and I thought it was really neat that they had it in this vector arcade game. And as you fly down the trench, you can shoot gun emplacements on the wall. You got to avoid the little blockades in there that are different colors. You got to fly around the obstacles just like they did in the movie. Until you get to the very end, you have to aim for that exhaust port and sink your 2 photon torpedoes in there and blow up the Death Star. Pretty awesome. Now, one of the things I thought was pretty cool was some of the hidden things they did inside this arcade game. For example, as you're flying towards Death Star after the first wave, you'll see in yellow, "May the Force be with you" inside the Death Star. That's pretty awesome. And I thought it was really cool that you could get bonus points if when you're flying down the trench and you hear the term "use the Force," if you don't fire at anything in the trench at all and only shoot at the exhaust port, you get a bonus points. But anyway, I remember when it came out for the Atari 2600. I picked this up because, at the time I was still picking up games from my 2600, especially arcade ports. I was focused on collecting arcade ports for my 2600. I already had Star Wars the arcade game for my Atari 8-bit computer, and I really liked playing it on there. But since they came out on the 2600, I went ahead and picked it up as well. Now, initially, I was a little disappointed in it because it's really hard to control with a joystick. And the graphics are really ramped down, but it's a 2600. It's what you can expect. For what was done on the 2600, they did a really good job of representing the arcade game. Now, granted, you're missing the upper part of the 2 laser cannons. You only got the 2 on the bottom. And the controls are a little bit hard on the game. You just can't keep moving your cursor around and firing. You have to actually aim and fire. And while you're firing, your cursor won't move, which really adds a lot to the difficulty of the game. But they got the essence of the gameplay there. You got your outer space battle. Then you have your going across the surface of the Death Star. And then you got going down the trench. When they got all the arcade levels in there. And it's actually a fairly fun game to play. But anyway, let's take a look at the box and what came with the box originally. Well, here's the box for the game. It is so cool. I love the artwork on this box. Parker Brothers did a heck of a job with this artwork. This box is a little beat up. It's not my original. This is one I picked up so I can make this video. It's pretty crushed, unfortunately. It's kind of difficult to find this game complete in the box at a halfway decent price, but at least I was able to get one. It is pretty cool. Of course, on the side it shows Star Wars, the arcade game. It's got a little picture of the Death Star and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter right there. That's pretty cool. And of course, in the back shows a gameplay screenshot. Looks pretty close to the arcade. It's pretty nice looking. So what came in the box? Let's see what's in the box here. Of course, we have the cartridge, which is a typical Parker Brothers cartridge. It's got the wraparound label. I like the Parker Brothers cartridge design. They're kind of cool looking. Nice little in label there. Star Wars, the arcade game. Oh yeah. We should have the instructions in here too. Yep, there they are. There's the instructions. So the instruction manual, which is a pretty nice manual. And you can see somebody, it looks like they cut off the little proof of purchase little seal there, so they must have mailed off for something. But Star Wars, the arcade game. Shows how to control. Got the Imperial TIE Fighters, the rounds blasting the laser towers for round 2. Goes through all the different places you go through. Round 3, surviving the trench. End of wave. Pretty cool. Then we have our wave selection progression. So wave 1 is easy, no catwalks in the trench. Wave 2, there's catwalks. Level 3 and up, you have hard catwalks. Well, I don't have to worry about getting to level 3, because usually, as far as I get, is into the second Death Star trench, and that's all I can do. I pretty much die. And we get our points values. Pretty cool. Limited warning. Bonus points for destroying the Death Star. And your shields. Pretty awesome. Of course, you could join the official Star Wars Lucasfilm fan club. I never did do that. What did you get when you joined the fan club here? Let's see. You'll get an exclusive Return of the Jedi membership kit, a 4-issue subscription to Bantha Tracks, the official newsletter, the chance to purchase genuine collector's items, opportunity to participate in club-sponsored contests and special services. Awesome! That sounds kind of cool, actually. It's actually a pretty good game on the 2600. Parker Brothers, did a halfway decent job of trying to convert the game to the 2600. Granted, it is lacking some of the graphical detail. It is the 2600 after all. But the basic gameplay is there. Now, if you want to play a really cool version of this game, back in 2015, an AtariCade user by the name of Omega Matrix made a hack of this game where you can use the CX22 trackball on this game. Playing this game with the trackball is actually a lot of fun. It works really well. It's too bad that Parker Brothers didn't think about that when they originally made the game, to give it a trackball mode or something. But I love playing this game in trackball mode using this ROM. You can get the ROM over at AtariCade.com. I'll put a link down in the notes if you want to go grab the ROM to try it on Stella and you use your mouse to play the game. It's actually really cool. I can't say enough about it. He did a really good job, hacking this game to make it to where you can use a trackball to play it. Well, anyway, that was Star Wars, the arcade game from Parker Brothers. Thanks for watching.
In a galaxy of video games, there is only one: Star Wars, the arcade game.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.